How's it going, everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood Nintendo, and in this video we're going to be looking at how we can become a farming expert in the new Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0 update. So we're basically going to answer the following questions: how to get or purchase starts and seeds to begin your farming, plant our starts and seeds so we can see how long it takes to grow them, how to get the perfect crops, where you get the maximum number of vegetables or sugar canes or wheat per sprout, which is going to be 3 instead of the 2 or the 1. And then we're going to find out what happens when you pick your fully grown vegetable, wheat or sugarcane, and what you can do from there. And if you make it all the way to the end of the video, you're going to get a reward because we're going to answer some important questions that you don't want to miss. So there are going to be various ways to get starts or seeds to begin your farming. Leif is probably the best way to get it. You can unlock him at Harv's Island for 100,000 bells and he will always be there. Or if you don't have the 100,000 bells to do this, you can just wait until he shows up to your island at least once every 2 weeks. Now he's going to rotate the type of starts and seeds he carries every single Monday. So they're going to change every Monday and he'll have 2 starts or 2 seeds every single time with them. And in the month of October, he will also include pumpkin starts in addition to 2 random farming seeds or starts. The other way you can do this is by going to the Cap'n Mystery Islands. You can pay 1,000 Nook Miles and you're going to go to a totally random island with or without farming items. In my 15 attempts to go to these mystery islands, I was able to go to the Sugarcane Island on my 2nd random island. I was able to get to Pumpkin Islands on my 5th random island. I was able to get to Carrot Island on my 12th random island. So this can vary with you guys as well. I wouldn't go with this route. I would prefer the Leif route, but if you want to do this route, it is going to be very random. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is go ahead and plant all of our starts and seeds. So as you can see, I've got all of these seed or starts. We've got the potatoes, carrots, tomato, sugarcane, wheat, and pumpkin starts. Pumpkin not being brand new, it did come out last year in October 2020, but the rest of them are brand new and came out in this 2.0 update. So we're going to go ahead and plant them on the floor. It doesn't really matter if you have a dirt path or not, you can do it on the grass, doesn't matter at all. And to plant, you can just go and click the X button to go to your pocket, and then click on the seed potato or whatever you're going to plant, and then just click plant 1, and it's going to go ahead and plant it there. And you can kind of keep spamming it and it'll be in the surrounding area. And you can see how it went ahead and went to the grass, an area I don't want. I'll go ahead and fix that by using the shovel so I can pick it up. So it's much easier to aim if you go ahead and dig a hole and then go ahead and click on it and plant. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the starts in the areas that I have set up here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and planted all of those starts and seeds. And now I just wanted to show you guys something. So as you can see, they start off as starts or the seed, right? And as soon as you plant them and let's say you pick them up with your shovel, they're already going to be called a small potato sprout or a small carrot sprout, so on and so forth. So now day 1 in this whole life cycle process, day 1's going to be called the small sprout for all of these vegetables. So there is a reason behind me putting 4 rows. It's not a coincidence. I did that on purpose because for pumpkins, they tend to have a 4-day life cycle, right? So if they have 4-day life cycles, I want to see if I can water them each separately, meaning, okay, so we have 4 rows. This last one, I'm not going to water at all for the entire 4-day life cycle. This 3rd row, I'm going to water just 1 day out of the 4 days. This one, I'm going to water 2 days out of the 4 days. And then this one, I'm going to water 3 days, or basically all the days until we get the full ripe plant. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of them right now, and we'll see you in a bit. So from all the sparkles that you can see, you can tell that I watered it. I only watered the first 3 rows as I mentioned. The 4th row we are completely leaving dry without any water. And I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next day and we're going to see our results. Okay, so here we are on day 2 and this is what the results are so far. You can see they slightly grew, each of them slightly grew. And this is considered a medium sprout for all of them. And I'm going to just go ahead and dig out just one as a sample. Doesn't really matter, and I could show you that they're all going to be considered the medium sprout. Okay, so as you can see, I've already dug up all of the day 2 results. At least just one. We're going to leave the rest for now. And you can see medium potato sprout, medium carrot sprout, and so on and so forth. They're all going to be medium. From the picture here, you can't really tell the difference, but by the name you can see it's small to medium. So we're going to go ahead and water all of the first rows, and then the second rows we're also going to water. Third row we're not going to water anymore as we've already done it one day. And then the fourth row, again, we're not going to water at all as we have not done in the past. So let's go ahead and start watering them. Okay, so I went ahead and watered all of these sprouts for the first 2 rows and left the last 2 rows as is. And we're going to go ahead and skip a day and see the results for day 3. All right, so this is going to be the results for day number 3. We are on day 3. You can see even slightly bigger than was the previous day. And now, well, I guess just looking at it, we can go ahead and just dig up one of each. And I'm not gonna pick the first row, of course, because that's part of our testing. We won't have a test subject for that one. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the last row and take one of them. And now, in terms of watering for this day, we are only going to water just the first row. We are no longer going to water the second row. We already stopped the third row of watering previously, and the fourth row we never watered at all. So I'm going to go ahead and just water the first row for all of them. Alright, so if you see from the sparkles, we've only watered the first row. All the other rows we have not watered. This is day 3, and we're going to go ahead and skip to the last day, which is day 4, and we should be having our full ripe plants. Alright, we are on day 4 of our 4-day life cycle, and we do have our fully grown ripe plants or vegetables or sugarcane or wheat. But let's go ahead and see the results. So if we take a look, this first one we watered for every single day from day 1, day 2, and day 3 of our life cycle, and we ended up with 3 potatoes. And then the second one we watered for day 1 as well as day 2 and did not water it after that, and we ended up still with 3 potatoes. This third one, we only watered on day 1 and did not water after that, and our results come out to 2 potatoes. And then this last one, we never watered at all, none of the days, and we ended up with just 1 potato. It basically tells that you want to at least water twice in the entire 4-day life cycle. So make sure you water twice, and you don't need to water the third time because it just seems like you're going to get the same results as watering it 2 days, and watering it once does give you just 2 here, so it's not the full perfect crop, and then not watering at all just gives you 1. And this is the same results for all of the vegetables and everything that you're seeing here. Same exact results, same thing, even for the pumpkins here. Alright, so just digging one up for science, and we see now it's called day 4 here, ripe potato plant, ripe carrot plant, etc. It's going to be called ripe, meaning that it's pretty much ready to go and you can pick the vegetable or whatever it is. And now for the last test, we're going to go ahead and pick these vegetables and items. So to pick these, you want to just click the Y button and you're going to be able to take the vegetables or whatever item it is, and you can see the size of these get kind of smaller after you pick them, right? The plant does get a little bit smaller, and we'll be able to tell from the tomato ones here. Look at that. It goes from up to a little bit down, and the reason being is because these go back to a day 2 or the medium sprout. Alright, now to prove to you that these did go back to day 2 or the medium sprout, we're gonna go ahead and, if I can aim better, go ahead and dig this up. We're gonna take a look, and this is called the medium sprout. So now you might be wondering, hey, well, what if you don't water the medium sprouts that used to give us 3 crops, right? Like these first 2 rows gave us 3 crops. What if I don't water these for the next 2 days, since this is going to be day 2? And then what if I start watering these? What is going to be our end results? And well, we're going to go ahead and test that out, and let's go ahead and water these plants the opposite way, right? So we're going to water this one here. This is day 2. Alright, so we went ahead and watered the last 2 rows and did not water the first 2 rows, and we're gonna go ahead and skip a day. Okay, so now we are on day 3 of the life cycle process, and we're going to just water the last row here, and we are not gonna water anything else. So it's basically gonna be, we water this last row 2 days, then water this third row 1 day, and then don't water at all these first 2 rows. And remember, these used to give us 3 of each of the vegetables. We're gonna see, does it give us go back to 1, or will it actually give us 2 or 3, we'll find out very soon. So let's go ahead and just water the last row. Okay, so here are our results. And now look at, it's the complete opposite. We have 3, we have 2, and then we have 1 and 1. So basically when you pick your crops and you're back to day 2, the medium sprout, it kind of goes back to a reset. So depending on how often you water that plant, and if you do water it at least one day, you're going to get 2. And if you water it both days, day 2 and day 3, then you're going to end up with 3. And then if you don't water at all, you're just going to end up with 1. No matter how you're watering it from the beginning or the day 1 of your small sprout, does not matter what you were doing back then, it kind of resets. So that's kind of interesting to know. Now what happens when Leif is on your island? And well, is he going to be at Harv's island? So the answer to this is I actually was able to figure it out. Leif ended up coming to our island. So I wanted to look into this. I was going to say, well, is the game actually trying to have duplicate Leifs, or what's going to happen? So I went to Harv's island and I saw an empty space. So Leif was actually not there. So it looks like when those NPCs are coming to your island to do the selling or whatever they do, they're not going to be at Harv's island. And here's another question that I'm sure you guys want to know the answer to. And it basically is, what happens if you dig up the actual full ripe vegetable? So we have potatoes here. What if I go ahead and plant them here? Where did they start off? And where did they go from here? What day are we in? Let's go ahead and find out. So I went ahead and dug up the actual potatoes, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up and see where it is. So as you can see, they are considered a small potato sprout. So you're actually back to day 1. So it's gonna be considered the same as these, as is basically like a start or the actual small sprout. So you have the small sprout is basically back to day 1, and you're gonna have to do 3 more days after that. So you could water it once, you could water it twice, and if you water it twice, you're gonna end up with 3. If you water it once, you're gonna end up with 2. If you don't water at all, you're gonna end up with 1. So that's gonna be the result of that. So what happens when you pick your fully grown vegetables, sugarcane, wheat, and what can you do from there? So you can cook with them, you can sell them at Nook's Cranny,